Hello everyone and welcome to another Wilds of Eldraine draft. And if you did see the last video, I could go with the same route and take a Restless Spire. I don't think it really is the kind of card you want to first pick necessarily. I mean, you could, but this pack also has Utopia Sprawl, which I think I would take over the Fawn, because turn 1 Sprawl can just enable some very good stuff. And also this can be used for bargain when you don't need the land anymore. I mean the mana anymore. The Frantic Firebolt is removal, but not good in every kind of deck. Coven thing is like it's a 4 mana creature after all, and you don't want to have too many of them. It's not a bomb or anything. I think I'll take the Sprawl. It gives me the most the best chance to have very good starts in games. And sometimes when you come out of the gates very powerfully, the opponent can just lose the game for that. Because of that reason alone, this I'm gonna take now. The Restless Winestalk, it's a really good one. Takes of course a lot of mana to activate it, but the amount of power it brings to the combat is a lot. I mean, if it's a 5/5 trampler by itself, and then something else that's maybe base power and toughness are smaller than 3/3, you can turn it into a 3/3. So I think after picking the Utopia Sprawl, I take the Winestalk now easily over the other options. I mean, this is also not the greatest pack, actually. Had I taken the Firebolt pack 1, I think this Firebolt would be a pick in that case, but let's try to have something like a base green, maybe multicolor nonsense. Well, not exactly nonsense, but multicolor deck can easily be happening here based on the by multi, I obviously mean more than two. Based on these picks, that's totally a thing that can happen now. Okay, this, wow, I'm still very nice options. I could take the Vanguard, Ruby, Root Rider Fawn. I don't know yet if I'm gonna have a red in the deck at all or as a main color, so I would take the Fawn over the Ruby. But do I want to take the Stormcelt Vanguard, which is a really nice card? Yeah, I'm gonna take that. Could be a 2-for-1, and then the 6/7 6-drop is, even if you don't use the adventure here, it's gonna be quite nice. The elemental is nice as well, but I mean, you have to make a choice. I will take the choice to pick a green card. Oh boy, is this going to be a Thunderous debut deck, or even a Knight of the Sweet's revenge deck? Out of these two, I think I would rather take the debut. And I mean, given what the pack has, not a lot in fact. I think I'm gonna take this. So, top 20 cards, 2 creatures go to battlefield, rest go to. I mean, you just shuffle the remaining 18 cards, so you don't really mill yourself out. Of course, if the cards went to graveyard, the remaining ones, I mean, that would be bad. This can easily come back maybe later. I guess this is a pick 4. Maybe someone would redraft it, but I'm gonna take these, and if I get any of more of those, fawns that add mana, because this of course requires a lot of mana accelerating, or maybe not accelerating necessarily, but it requires cards that allow you to get to 8 mana before you lose the game. Here, I could be blue-green. It's quite open here. I'm taking the dragon here. All I need now is the Root Rider Fawns that I passed. I need more of that. Here, probably just Brave the Wilds. I mean, it's not mana accelerating, but it is... Well, I don't know actually. Is it even that good? I'd rather actually play cards that, help me get to these 6 drops and so on. I might just replace this with a regular land. I do like the Attendants, but I don't need any expensive cards. The Alchemist, not really in a red, in a green-blue deck. I think I'll take the Sentry. I think it's a decent enough blocker early in the game that you can then use, offensively once you have the mana to sink to its ability. It also has Vigilance, so you can always attack with it if you have an opening for that. Alright, this is not going to be a Genealogist deck. Not gonna be a deck that actually cares about the Living Lectern. It could be a Candy Trail deck rather than a Brave the Wilds deck. there's some red stuff, but I think I'm gonna try the blue-green. I haven't really drafted a lot of blue-green either. Okay, I'm gonna take the trail. I'm not excited about this pick, but I'm still going to take it. Now, this might be one of the decks that happily plays the Sky Beast Tracker. The Ice Out isn't bad as a kind of just a 3-drop, but I also have trouble having mana open with these expensive cards. I mean, for the counter spell, so I think I'll take the defensive play here now. And Spider Food, totally legit sideboard card. And okay, this is also a good sideboard card. I'm not gonna pick another tracker. It's easy to get those later in the draft, and I'm not necessarily interested in playing multiples, but Disdainful Stroke, good main deck it, but especially I can sideboard it. This is rather bad stuff, but I guess I'll take the Witch. I know I could play it at least. Like a Water Wings sideboard card mostly. Spreading Seas. I do have the Witch now, so this is quite decent. Also in just being a card that can be bargained off. Alright, Curiosity not in this deck. I didn't get any of the phones back, but they're quite good cards. I really shouldn't expect to get them back. Gumdrop Poisoner though is a really good one. I'm gonna take it. Over stuff like a Curse of the Werefox. Base green. I didn't actually take either of the green land fetchers, but I think I can get them later on. But I do want to have them now because I have the black card I'm going to splash for sure. There's not really much even consideration other than this. It's easily the pick here. I guess I can take the Prankster because in the end, while I might not care about it, the instant part of the ability, it's a 2-drop that is defensive enough. Maybe buys me time to get to my good stuff. So I'm gonna take it over, these black options. I mean, you could play the Coven now that I'm decided to splash the Gumdrop Poisoner, but because this has a blue adventure after all, that buys you some time. But I think I'll take the 2-drop now. I'm not that interested in splashing the cooped up necessarily. Royal Treatment, Sleight of Hand. Galvanic Giant. I wish the 4-mana creature was like a 3-4 at least. It seems a little bit underwhelming. Now, the 7-mana adventure, when you can actually play it, it's, of course, very good draw 4, discard 2 even at an instant speed, but it's not that easy. I think I'll just take the treatment that, helps me survive early in the game. Counters opponent's removal while I try to get to this expensive stuff. Can I get any Root Rider Fawns here? It's possible I can't. But anyway, I'll take the Brave the Wilds now. Oh, there's a Feature Cauldron too. I might need their removal. Okay, fine. I assume still to get some of these Brave the Wilds later. I don't want to play multiple of these anyway. So I can take that. There's a Mocking Sprite which would actually make this cheaper. But I don't think it's a 3-mana 2-1 is what this deck wants. The 3-drops want to be able to block and trade. But I take the removal, which also gains me some life. Okay, there is now the Brave the Wilds, which I'm going to take. Quite easy, actually. There was not much interesting cards in that pack. Another land, but I don't think I'm gonna get white in here. That said, I don't care about Garruk's Uprising or the Leaping Ambush. There's like a chance that I draw, open or get past the white bomb or something that is splashable. And I'm already interested in having black in the deck, so I'll take the Fortress now. If nothing else, it's also 20 gems from a pack that didn't really have many cards that I would be interested in. Yeah, blue actually isn't even that open, but I guess I have enough blue to play it as a main color. The Scavenger will give me some, for the Diminisher, which at least some sacrifice for there. So, and it's a decent card, regardless. So, I'm happy to have it here. I am sad about not having the mana accelerating here at all. Even the 3-mana sorcery, the green sorcery that says that choose 2 out of the 3 options. One of them is the land fetch, one of them is making a token and 1/1 token, and one of them is making a food token. That would be very decent here. I still take the takedown over the Brave the Wilds #2 because it is, you know, at least some kind of interactive spell here. I guess it's gonna be one of the 2-mana things. I don't really care about the Witch Stalker, but I don't think the Lectern is that good. I'll take the thing that can at least trade with the opposing early drops. The Moses, I guess. I guess it is, you know, interaction. I take another spider food here. Yeah, pack 2 was a little bit of a disappointment. Titanic Growth. I have a royal treatment. That's kind of the card I want to have instead of the growth. I'll just take the crown seal. You know, maybe I can sideboard it in against opponents that have some graveyard shenanigans. Do I have any? No, I don't think so. There's the Uprising regardless, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Okay, so first of all, there's an asinine antics. I don't know how to say the word, but this basically ratches your opponent in the so that everything becomes base 1/1. It can be bad, it can be useless. I mean, it can be bad or useless, but it can be also something quite good. Now, this pack also has Candy Grapple and the Root Rider Fawn. These are the cards I actually care about. I don't care about this thing as much. So, I mean, I'm splashing for black, but the Fawn is exactly what I need. But this is just too good to pass up. I really hope that I'm gonna get another Fawn passed me. It would be important. Alright, Doubling Season might be the pick for no other reason than getting the Mythic Rares from this enchantment seed completed. I'm not gonna play this, of course. It's a symmetric effect, and I don't think my deck even benefits from it, really. So I'm gonna redraft it. It's a Mythic Rare from the enchantment sheet. And if it wasn't here, I would just take the Evolving Wilds. So I'm not losing a lot here. Gingerbread Hunter. Well, that seems like a very, very decent one because I'm going to splash for the black and it's a decent 5-drop. Easy pick. I would really need to have some mana accelerating though. And I don't get even the fairly weak 3-drop sorcery that gets you a land. I don't know what's up with that. But I'm gonna take the Tempest Heart here. It's actually gonna be decent in this deck. And I can dig into some of the stuff I need. But there's a possibility I won't be able to play the Thunderous Debut in this deck because I don't have enough ways to get the mana for it. Okay, well I get these decent 4-drops here though, but no mana accelerating. Well, anyway, I'll take the Galefang. 4/4 Vigilance blocks nicely and attacks nicely. And I think I could have gotten like a 3 of these if I really went for it, but I'm not gonna go that route now. Am I gonna play three Spider Foods? I mean, I guess it's like very, very thin possibility for facing a deck against which I'm wanting to actively sideboard in 3 of these things. Okay, another Candy Trail. That actually could be the kind of card I want to have in here. The Beanstalk Worm wouldn't be that bad either. It does accelerate, but how many lands am I gonna play here? I don't even have a card drawer here, so I can't play a lot of lands. I'm gonna play the Candy Trail. That will find me the land drops when I need them. And when I don't need them, I can, you know, scry lands away. Stopgap, Attendant. I don't have a lot of creatures. Yeah, I don't know if I care about the Stopgap enough. I'll take the Attendant. Okay, well there's a kind of a reason to consider the White Splash, and I do have the Restless Fortress here. I think I'm gonna at least pick this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna play it actually. It would be my only white card. Alright, here Ice Out versus Troublemaker Oath. I have a little bit of a lack of 2-drops here. But this is kind of a 3-drop. I don't think I want to have the 2/2. Just play that thing. Yeah, not getting any of the Root Rider Fawns. I think I passed like 3 in the entire draft. That's a bad thing, but oh well. Okay, I got the Lectern. I might have to play it as a 2-drop. There's a 4-drop, which I probably won't be needing. Okay, so it does seem like like that. When I took the doubling season, there was an Evolving Wilds in that pack. I think I would have wanted to have the Evolving Wilds because my mana is a little bit shaky, and I think the first thing I'm gonna do is not play the Shadai. And then, what am I not going to play in the main deck? Not gonna play two of these trackers. How about the modes thing here? I don't think I can play the debut. I mean, 8 mana is too much. I can't do it. I really expected to be able to play this. I didn't expect to get a lot of those Root Rider Fawns that 2-drop Accelerator, but I expected to see, you know, the 3 mana sorcery that can fetch me a land. They are usually very late picks, but I didn't just see them. I mean, I don't think I saw any of them. Alright, so this deck actually isn't very good. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. This just isn't a very good deck. But I have to you know, use these cards that I have picked in the draft. So how many lands I want to play? I guess I could with the Brave the Wilds just play, you know, 16, because I do have the Utopia Sprawl and the 2 Candy Trails as well in here. So if I cut 2 more cards, I have also the Cantripping Spreading Season here and whatnot. I have some, you know, ways to you know, make this thing able to attack, but I still feel like I don't know if I care about it enough. Eyes Out, Diminisher Witch. Now I don't actually have that many things to sacrifice for the Witch, so I guess it being a 3 mana 3/2, I'm gonna cut it from the main deck at least. Maybe I can sideboard it in if I play like against another green deck that has these huge creatures. Then it's very valuable to make them into 1/1s. But I'm gonna cut it from the main deck now. And I also won't play the Disdainful Stroke in the main deck. And now the question is, am I gonna play like a Sky Beast tracker here? I actually don't have more than this number of triggers for it. I don't think I have anything that has an expensive adventure here. I don't, so the tracker goes away. Now the modes is still interaction and not the end of the world to play that card. I like the Spreading Seas here still because it does. I might need to do this cantrips a few of. Maybe. I'm also thinking about the debut. Could I play it with 17 lands? If I don't play the Spreading Seas, which is kind of like an extra card, doesn't do much. I don't even have the bargain for it. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I don't even have that many amazing drops. I mean, I guess the 5 and 6 mana creatures are something I'm happy to find with the debut, and you usually look through almost everything you have in the deck. So, yeah. Because if I don't play the Spreading Season, if I would put this in the deck, I would cut the Spreading Season, maybe the Witch Stalker, I don't know. I kind of like the Eyes Out and the Sentry here. And the modes as well. Don't know if I need 2 Candy Trails, but they help me dig into the stuff that actually matter here. The Lectern is also mostly like a blocker that can, you know, do stuff later in the game, of course. I mean, 8 mana is a lot, but I guess I have well, I just don't have enough mana. I mean, the problem is I can get stuck at 6 lands, and it's very embarrassing to say that I need 2 more lands. And I have no card draw. If I had card draw in this deck, that would be a way to, find additional lands, but I don't have any card that draws me, more than 1 card. I guess there's the Tempest Heart, but I don't want to really discard non-lands to this thing either. You usually want to draw 2 and discard 2 lands. So I'm not playing the debut. I'm only thinking if I want to play the Spreading Seas or just replace it with a land, or maybe just have a Disdainful Stroke. I guess this deck is so weak that I need to, get something good, like hope that the opponent has enough expensive cards that this card won't get stranded in my hand. So I'm gonna play the Disdainful Stroke over the Spreading Seas, and this is pretty much the deck then. I don't know what happened in the draft, but I really didn't get the kind of blue-green deck I wanted to have. But now here we are. Do I have anything that fetches a land? Yes, so I will play Swamp with these 3. I have a Utopia Sprawl, Brave the Wilds, and this a little bit of a unreliable way to get the black mana because it can be killed. I also have this Adventure. I'm thinking between 2 swamps and 1. So let's see if I do play 2 swamps. How would the mana look like? This would be now 8 forests. 8 green sources rather, 7 blue sources, and then of course Utopia Sprawl and the Brave the Wilds are also means to get the blue. So I think I should play, in fact, 5 islands, 8 forests with the Winestalk. That's enough forests for the Sprawl, because this has to enchant a forest specifically. And I can get the blue mana with the fixing I have available, and 2 swamps means that I have a little bit more outs for the black spells, because I do have a bunch of them and I want to have access to these things early. These -2/-2 and the Candy Crabble and the Feed the Cauldron, I want to have access to them early in the game if I can. So now with 2 swamps that's slightly more likely to happen. Alright, so definitely not a great deck, but it does have removal, it does have big things that can win with, and it has somewhat of a mana curve, but that is a little bit more questionable. I am having some bad 2-drops, but they are there just to be able to stay alive in the game when the opponent curves out. That's the main deck. Okay, well, I got a bunch of these mediocre cards. I didn't even check how many hits I have with this deck. I don't think I'm really gonna benefit from the milling. I might even, mill my swamps, which is kind of bad. So, I'm gonna just block with the Witch Stalker. They can get this back, but it's actually quite slow to get it back. You need to have an enchantment enter and play 2 mana just to get this into your hand. So it's not gonna happen anytime soon. Oh, they are actually not having a any land drop there. Okay. Well, I think if they had removal, they would have maybe killed this. Maybe. Because I could play the Sentry, but then I don't have the Royal Treatment mana up. Or I can play this and have the Treatment mana up. Well, let's actually do it regardless. Because if they try to kill this, I'd rather have this as a 2/4 Vigilant Flyer. And this Sentry is good enough anyway. Okay, so they actually had Candy Crabble, so now I'm a little bit surprised they didn't go for the aggression, but I guess it's quite unlikely that it would have worked. I mean, if they kill my Witch Stalker here, then I can play something that's going to be able to still trade with the 3/1 they had. But are they gonna ever hit their 3rd land drop, because this starts to be the stage of the game where they need to do that. I can okay, Utopia Sprawl is not a land drop, but they get mana now. Sadly for them I have the misleading modes here, of course. I'm not gonna even pay 2 for this thing to get the +2 power, because I'd rather play this at the end of their turn. I don't have any of my black mana. But if I draw any land, I can just play the Hunter if I want to. As a 5 mana creature, of course. Return from the wilds. Well, I can't actually... This only targets creatures, so it's not there. But that at least means that they still take damage from these guys. I mean, I don't care if they are going to... I don't care if they jump there. It's just 2 damage anyway. So now I can either use the Moat's end of their turn, or the Gumdrop Poisoner, which is an instant, or this thing, which is an instant. So them missing the 3rd land drop for a couple of turns is... That gave me the, you know, the opening here to finish off the opponent before they can use all the cards. Okay, they have a lot of a lot of ramp there. That's fine. So now with this, I think I would just kill one of them and then just play the Gingerbread Hunter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't use this now. But what I can do here is I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I can make the food token here with the black mana, and then I still have 5 mana to cast this thing. Now they know about the poisoner, but I mean, what can they do about it? Not much. Yeah, this is the card I actually wanted to have in this deck, but I never really got the opportunity to pick these in the draft, and they usually go quite late. Okay, Glutton gains them life, but it is... do I have a victory? Yes, I do, because I can... I mean, this is gonna tap one of the guys. I just don't want to show them any cards I don't need to show. If I gain 3 life... No, I don't have the money. I would have needed to land for that, so I need to show them 1 more card. Let's show them... I mean, I guess I can even, you know, do this, because I have an enchanted creature. Yep. Now I will... you know, use the Sentry's ability to tap down this thing. But I had to show the 1 card. If I had 7 mana, let's say this was a land, untapped land, well, that's the only kind of land I have here, then I could have played the, you know, gotten life from this thing, play this, and I still have 2 mana after that to use for this ability. But I mean, they know about the graceful takedown. I don't think it's a big deal. Now they are a ramp deck, which they do have the 3/1 here, but that actually makes me really not like the Witch Stalker or the Living Lectern. The Disdainful Stroke, though, that's great here. I saw a Candy Grapple that makes the Water Wings a little bit more interesting, but actually this Diminisher Witch is... I'm gonna take that and play it because I saw the Hamlet Glutton, and the Witch Stalker goes away. Now how about the Living Lectern? If I cut that, I would be playing probably the Water Wings. I think I'm gonna try with that. I hope I don't miss my 2 drops. I will be on the draw also. But that's the that's the sideboarding I'm gonna do here. Well, I'm keeping it because I do have the Gumdrop Poisoner, but I need, of course, lands in here. If I can at least have 1, even if it's not an island, I can cast the Scavenger. Now this is the kind of card I need. But I drew a land. Just a forest, not an island, but it's still fine. Okay. Might as well make the food here. Yep, not really a lot of options here. Play this thing. Sadly, I can't use the treatment here because now... Okay. it would have been, of course, very nice to save my guy, although it would have still just traded with the Vanguard, perhaps, so... At least if I draw an island now, I can play the Sentry and have mana up for the treatment. But I don't have actually a lot of islands here, so it's not that likely necessarily. Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna do this on my own turn to get the... Or do they have a royal treatment? No. Maybe they have the 1 mana trick that gives +1/+3. But yeah, I did this on my own turn just to get the food, which you don't get if you use it on your opponent's turn. Okay, so they don't have more than 2 power right now, and that's not gonna really... Well, let's do more of this, although maybe not now. Am I gonna let them untap? I'm gonna do it in their upkeep. Okay, so all I need is an island, or just even a forest or a swamp would be acceptable. Alright, well there is that. I can actually make one of these into a 3/3. No, sorry, it doesn't work like that. You would have to sack one of them to make a land into a 3/3, and I don't want to make a land into a 3/3, so let's not bargain. Here I'm just gonna play the pranksters because I wanna keep up mana for the royal treatment here. And this can block these just fine. Great up. The counter-adding ability is sorcery speed only, so they can't use it as a trick. Okay, they draw a card because they can make, of course, black mana with the fawn, but now if I draw a land I can actually get to... I didn't. I could have been able to kill this because they are tapped out. So that would have been very nice, but now I actually drew a spell I can't cast. Well, of course I can cast the -4/-0, but I mean it's fine, I can do this still. But a land there would have been really good. We actually have same colors here. Although they are more like a blue, green-black, maybe splashing for blue. Okay, so am I going to double block? They're gonna have a trick of some kind, but I actually want them to use their tricks. I don't want to go to 9 here. And that's fine. I'm not gonna use... I'm gonna trade the 1/3 here. That's actually quite nice that they don't have access to this anymore. Okay, nothing. Alright, well, I have had very difficult time drawing lands here. Yep, so... Well, let's do this. I'm not going to attack here. I know I could make this into 4/4 and all that, but I want to have my mana up for things. Alright, so there's that. Well, I have a reach guy here. I'm gonna, of course, block the 3/1 with my Scarecrow Guide. That's totally fine for me. But they still have 5 more cards. Okay. Well, there is the land. I actually do have one enter-stapped land in my deck. Didn't remember that. Okay. So... I guess I'm not really having any other Yeah, I can use this. I mean, that means I don't have the modes up, but I don't care. I'm going to attack here. Do this and tap. Tap this guy. Grave Pact. Well, I'm happy I have the Vanguard here, because that is gonna be... It's impossible to try to beat this. At this... Well, I mean in this game now, at least, if they had an active Grave Pact. So now they can just attack, and I want to block, because if... Oh, they didn't actually attack, which is weird. Alright, so... I'm gonna do this regardless on the Grave Pact, but let's... What color of mana do I want to use for this? I guess I'm not going to get anything from black necessarily. No, I'm gonna use this. Scry 2. Alright, I'm at least having one land, but do I want to just have two? I think I want to have two. Yeah, so here's what I can do. I can draw the land right away to not... Yes. To not miss a land drop. I can play this Vanguard's ability and still have a... Still have, you know, the royal treatment up here. They can now attack with the 3-1, and I'm not going to block it. Because then I would have to either trade with it or, you know, be vulnerable against the removal, because I can make this into a 3-4, but then they can respond to that with removal. I don't want that to happen. Now with the second land I can also play the Vanguard with the royal treatment mana up here. Okay, they just play the 5-5. Be my guest. And here I can do this thing. No counterspell, good. Okay. Now they might still have a pump effect. So if they attack with the 5-5, it might mean that they have a Titanic growth, but they did not. So now I like my chances. Right. I mean, I do have the attendants in here, so I think I can attack with the 6-7. They can't jump with the 1-1s. So I'm going to just attack with the Vanguard here. Not with the Sentry, I don't want to make any trades with their stuff. So they can double block with the Red Tooth Vanguard and the Hunter, but of course I can make this survive by giving -4, -0. Like that. I know I have the modes here as well, but I like this more. They might have their own royal treatment, in which case I can play misleading modes. Okay. Okay. That's gonna kill both of their guys unless they have something else. They had the leaping ambush there, which is gonna help that thing survive, but I mean my guy is still gonna also survive, and they're gonna lose the Vanguard. So this is all fine for now. Question is what I'm gonna do. I think I'll just play the Tempest Heart here. Without using the adventure, I don't need that. Because I have now 2 5-mana creatures that will actually add a counter on this thing. I'm so telegraphing the royal treatment here, but I mean, what the opponent can do. They can of course do this now, and the question is, am I gonna take 5? I mean, if I double block and they have nothing, I only trade with one of these guys. I could go to 7, I have a lot of food in here, of course. But then again, trading one of these on that thing is fine, and of course if they have like a removal, I can use the royal treatment here. If they have a Titanic growth, that's the worst outcome for me. Okay. That's a fine trade. Eventually this would have become a 5-6, but I mean, I'm actually winning with the Vanguard in here. So I'm just happy to you know, trade resources, and as long as this is alive, it's gonna be the main threat in here. Okay, this will have haste. The thing is though that they have a well, I guess I don't really have to play it on this turn. They have only one card in their hand, by the way. But I can just play the Attendants maybe. I could also use the Poisoner by getting rid of some of these things, but not necessarily even that necessary. That's not necessarily even necessary. And I have this activated land too, but I'm just trying to figure out. I guess I'm gonna like the Hunter play tool. They have some jump blocks for it though. Oh, they don't want to continue the game. Understandably, if they have nothing relevant in their hand. Because I have so much stuff in here. I mean, so much stuff that they are even aware of. So I had here 7 lands. I was thinking if I can even attack with the Sentry, but then they can just... I mean, even if I tap the Vanguard, they will quadruple block the Sentry, and I will only kill 1 Fawn and 1 token, which might be still fine, and I could use the treatment, but I would like to really save this for countering their removal. So maybe I wasn't going to attack with this. So maybe the play here was to just to attack with the Vanguard and see if they block with their own Vanguard or not. And then maybe play the Flyer or the Hunter. Leave this Haster for a later moment. But they didn't want to continue because it was pretty clear that I had more big stuff to you know, wear them out. Okay, I'm on the draw. This hand is really clumsy. They mulligan though. But I have no castables. But if I get one of the ways to get black mana, I guess I have a live draws here enough, and this deck kind of needs maybe you could have some trouble if it goes to such a low amount of cards. Because I can now draw a 2-drop, a 3-drop, a way to get black mana. All those are good. And there's, I mean, combined, if you combine all my 2-drops, 3-drops, and ways to get black mana, that's a lot of cards. I'm seeing Utopia Sprawls left and right here. Even the land isn't the worst in a sense, because this I want to be able to play. Is this another kind of a mirror-ish match? Because this is black, green, and blue. Okay. Well, that's something I will be countering on the next turn. So my Disdainful Stroke is actually going to be relevant. That's nice. They will get, sadly, this into a bigger creature, but they are also almost out of cards. But I'm gonna take now 4+3, 7 damage here. So I guess it's actually not enough what I'm having here, because the 4-3 here is going to Yeah, look at my draws. It's like almost... Is it all lands here? I'm taking another 7 here. Even if they don't draw a land here, I'm in trouble. Because I didn't get this black mana. I needed that. Royal treatment is nice, but I can't afford to not play this thing. So I guess if they have nothing exactly, they can't attack. I'm gonna attack for 3 because I'm in such a bad shape. If they get another trigger for this, I can still trade with the Prowler. If they don't have an attack now, then I have a actually pretty decent chance with the Archive Dragon and all that, but they're thinking about pushing damage through because it's an obvious attack if they have a good... I mean, okay, so I'm gonna do this no matter what. So they wanted to push damage. Not sure if that is so smart because I do have the food token here. I'm gonna try to see if this resolves. They might have a counter spell. They don't. Okay, well, if I'm gonna play the Brave the Wilds, I will not... I mean, I will shuffle my deck, so this won't be gotten regardless. This would be a good draw, though. And I have a removal spell. Am I gonna be greedy? I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna first get the sentry here. Now I will attack here, but I might need to have this as a blocker. If they somehow, yeah, even though this has ward 2, I'm gonna leave this as a jump block if they deal with the dragon and get to, you know, make this attack. Which they can just use like a pump effect or something. So this doesn't get trampled, does it? Which is vanity kills my Witch Stalker, but that's of course not enough alone. And now I have a royal treatment up here. So this is now a lot better. I could just kill this guy also. I will have the Candy Grabble on the next turn with a bargain. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work. Because I want to attack with both of these. And now the question is, am I gonna gain life or play this? Regardless of which I choose, I will have the royal treatment here. So I mean, I guess like a Swamp Wrangle Sprang is a possibility. But there could be a Haster too, I guess. I mean, like a Brave the Wilds. But I'm gonna still play this. And I have, of course, a victory now for the next turn. There's a swamp. Is there gonna be a Wrangle Sprung? No, but it's the same. Oh man, jeez. I mean, oh man, they had to have that double black, and then this kind of an effect now. Because I was afraid they might have a, you know, a Brave the Wilds and a pump effect. That's maybe even more likely. Brave the Wilds and a plus, you know, Titanic growth. If I just left myself with the food. Now the question is, was I supposed to just attack with the hunter and leave the dragon as a blocker and then the food, you know, to prevent this kind of shenanigans? But that also makes my clock slower. I wanted to go for the win on the next turn, and with the sentry it's very easy because I can tap down a blocker and all that. I don't think I played wrong here, especially because it seems like it's a black splash, and these things require double black, even the Wrangle Sprung. But that was I mean, the opponent had some bad. They had the mulligan and all that, so I guess they deserve it. But it was so close. I mean, I had to have exactly 3 life. If I had 1 life point more, or just 1 mana to actually crack the food. But well, let's just continue. I'm going to play my Diminisher Witch hand. I don't care about my own Witch Stalker. I think I'll play the rest. Even the Lecten can actually give me a roll token for bargain. Spider food kills that thing, but don't think I care about the other stuff. Alright. Let's have this. This is fine. I guess I could have considered the Water Wings, but I didn't see a lot of removal from them. Okay, that's fine enough. If I need to dig some lands with this thing, I can do that. Okay, so they did mulligan. I paused the recording for a bit, but they are mulliganing. Now they are down to 6 currently. And they kept 6. Okay, land would be really nice. Okay, the least useful card here is actually going to be the Ice Out. I'm not gonna keep mana up for that. Are they gonna go for Brave the Wilds, making a 3/3 forest? I wish I had a way to kill it. But let's just draw land. That would be the most important thing right now. Otherwise, things are gonna get a little bit awkward. Okay, well, that's gonna help me scry into a land. I could play the scan the clouds, discard something like a living lectern, and what else? Maybe have a land and the candy trail. I can also just play the lectern here, you know. I'm actually gonna do that. Because I feel like they're gonna use this for mana rather than attack, but I mean, if they attack now, I have the 0/4, and I can still give it the sorcerer roll token to the Scarecrow guide if I want to. Okay, they play another land. Royal treatment is okay. Okay, you know what? I'm willing to trade here with that thing. They don't need to know about my land drop here. That's, you know, it's gonna be good enough. Because I have the candy trail here. I do need to know. Okay, well, I'm gonna actually draw this thing first because I can't cast it. So now they might have a 5/4 in here, but at least they don't get to attack with a 3/3 in that case. And I will play the Sentry and the tapped land. Oh, Ashok. Well, that is going to be a little bit more awkward now. I'm losing my Scarecrow guide, of course, because the royal treatment doesn't help now. It will just knock off the other one. So how to do it? I still keep that thing, but I think I'm gonna lose to the Planeswalker, and I'm gonna lose the match because the opponent did win them game 1 with that done life loss effect. Yeah, I don't think I can really easily. I mean, I can tap down a blocker, but they get 2 other things. Okay, yeah. Oof, I'm not getting. There's no questing beast, even if it has haste. It doesn't have. You know, I can't. These are gonna grow and grow. Okay, this is it. I can't beat the Planeswalker. I needed to have a better start here. But man, the game 1 finish. That's so annoying. Okay, so I do have trouble with my lands here. Even though I have some fixing, I have a couple of candy trails, which would be perfect one-drops to dig into the stuff I need. But I don't think I can keep really this hand. I'm gonna mulligan. And this is not amazing by any... do I need double green or double blue? I have a counter spell that costs double blue. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna still use the green here. Okay, this was a decent enough draw. Okay, the iron crack. There is the candy trail. Oh, I actually was supposed to kill. I'm stupid. It's fine. It's fine. They get the 4-drop now. Okay, they actually don't get a 4-drop. But I mean now they're not tapped out. Can they have a? Okay, I have a disdainful stroke here as well. Okay, well let's hold back. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna keep disdainful stroke up now. Flick a coin on my face, sure. I don't need this. No, I do. I need the 5th land. But I'm gonna draw the hunter first, of course. Because I have a 4th land drop for the next turn. Now I'm gonna, of course, keep mana up for the disdainful stroke, and on the next turn I can play the vanguard if I want to kill the iron crack. That I can't counter. That I can't counter either. Well, I can draw a card in that case if there's nothing to counter. I mean, now it's more like I don't care about them having the mana anymore. It's more like this can become an equipment, but I can of course still kill the equipment. It's still an artifact. It would be tempting to deal with the Bramble Familiar, but that doesn't allow me to have mana up for disdainful stroke. So that's the reason I'm not gonna go for it. And I didn't use, I mean that was on purpose. I didn't want to use the bear down because I don't know if the iron crack is important anymore. Unless it becomes an equipment. Now I'll just block here, I guess. I can use the... Okay, I'm not gonna use anything right now. Let's see what they're gonna do here. Gingerbread Hunter on that. I mean, Puny Snack, which I cannot disdainful stroke. That's a shame. It's gonna die. This is a sorcery speed activation, so I can't do anything about it. I mean, what I could do here actually, I could, kill it myself, and so this doesn't resolve. But I guess I'm gonna just get it down with the disdainful stroke. So let that happen. Yeah, they used the treasure token, of course. I was wondering what was the black mana, where it came from, but it came from the treasure token. Okay, now I can do this. And I guess I can have a candy trail. And this is fine. Deal with that thing, and then I can play my own hunter. I can also do this. They do seem to have a 1 mana red effect. It is probably gonna be Torch the Tower, I would say. And for that reason I'm not gonna even block here. because I have these, you know, counters available. If I get to untap, I like my chances. They are now stuck at 5 lands, so I'm almost tempted to. Okay, well, there went that thing. So. Well, I mean, if I attack, they just won't block. That's bad. Gonna say black in here. And that's now 5 mana I have. So that's enough for the Attendants and the Candy Grapple. If I play the Sentry, I can only do one of the two. But I guess it's fine, because I can now double block the Glutton and then have, you know, stuff in here. Cut in, just like that. That happens. Can't really attack with the Vanguard. I guess they can. Yeah, because they can have well, no. Okay, so I do suspect they are going to have a Torch the Tower. So if I just block here, and which I will do, of course, but if I only use this without bargain, this is going to be a 3-3 and they can finish off my guy with Torch the Tower. I don't want that to happen. So I'm actually gonna bargain and do this. I'm gonna eat the food because I might need the Utopia Sprawl still. And now if they're gonna block this guy, then of course I can use the Obira's Attendants in here. They are not, which is fine. Because now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just destroy this thing here. And I will take the 3 here. I will still want to use the Attendants as a trick. And that's gonna leave now mana up for the Attendants. I'm of course winning this race now. They might have another Glutton thing here, which they do, but it's actually fine. They go to 16 though, but let's see what they do. They might double block and that would be great for me, of course. They choose not to. I can double block now their thing and have the Attendant still. Yeah, that works. I kind of forgot they have that, but it's still fine. It is still fine. Because now I don't take any damage in here, and oh, this has haste. Very convenient. I can't play the Attendants, but I mean having this as a haster is better. They still are holding a card though, that they can cast most likely. Okay, they conceded. Right, so red-green. I mean, these are good cards. All of this is quite good. Yeah, they have 2 Gluttons at least. So I'm going to play, of course, the Diminisher Witch. Now they also have a Torch the Tower, cut in, maybe something else, which makes me want to play the Water Wings. And the rest of this stuff I don't care about, but of course I do have to make some cuts now. And the cuts will be, I think, again, the Living Lectern and probably the Witch Stalker, because the Witch Stalker isn't so good at blocking most of their stuff. So let's just get rid of that. I will play the Guide, of course, to have a little bit of mana fixing. Disdainful Stroke will also be good in this matchup. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, they mulligan. I have finally a Utopia Sprawl on turn 1. They start with 6. So he's gonna say blue now. I have the black here already. And almost tempted to play this witch now as a 3-2 because I'm not going to sack my... Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna sack my Utopia Sprawl anytime soon. If they have a Torture Tower for that, I don't even care. Just trading resources is fine. Next turn I can play the Tempest Heart. I'm not interested in the adventure. I have, you know... I have just fine cards here. Nothing needs to be discarded. They have a cut in, sadly they used it now that I'm tapped out, but it was just a 1-for-1 anyway. This will still allow me to have mana for the Disdainful Stroke. Prankster, I mean... even the land is kind of needed, but kind of not. I just forgot to check how many outs I have for the Prankster. I mean, I probably will just do it regardless because I can... I mean, unless I have to Disdainful Stroke something, but now what I can do is, of course, just draw the Prankster and then use the ability. There's a very... I don't think there's a big chance for this to do something, but... well, I got to Brave the Wilds, but I also got rid of 2 pretty good cards and the Restless Winestalk, so... But I mean, that's totally random. It could have been some blanks as well. Alright, so... I mean, I can sack the Utopia Sprawl and get a land. If I do that, I will get an island. But I have to risk losing a land. I mean, I guess I don't need to double blue. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to get an island here. Target this island. Sacrifice this Utopia Sprawl. Get an island here. And now I can still play this. No, not like that. Like this. I don't care about the Candy Grapple. So this is what I can do now. Now I have mana up for both Royal Treatment and the Disdainful Stroke. I mean, I only one of them, but I can still play one of them. Okay, they might have Gluttons there, but of course the... What? What just happened? I mean, I have a Disdainful Stroke for this first one, but... I was only dealing like 4 per turn, and they have at least 2 Gluttons in their deck. So I wonder why they didn't realize that they can stabilize with those cards. They didn't know about the Disdainful Stroke. Well, I guess they saw it in game 1, but... Anyway, they chose to concede, and I'm not gonna prevent them from doing that. Okay, I went 2-1 with this deck. It's not a very good deck, so losing the match to, you know, wasn't such a catastrophe. I'm happy to have 2-1 with this. I really thought I would have been able to finally get a good blue-green deck, but it actually turned out that blue wasn't even that open. You know, look at the number of blue cards. I don't have a lot of them. And, well, I guess the green I have here is quite decent. Except that I didn't have the mana accelerating things other than the first pick in the entire draft. So yeah, a pretty weak deck, but got to the good result of 2-1. So let's claim the prize, and I will see you in the next video then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.